I do one-on-one consultations with other people trying to start and grow their own bookkeeping business. This is a live call with somebody who needs help starting their bookkeeping business. I'm going to record it, share it on my YouTube channel. If any of you want to schedule a one-on-one consultation with me, there's a link in the description of this video. Go ahead and schedule a meeting with me. You can ask me whatever questions you might have. I will give you all of the advice in the world. Okay, let's jump into this call. Hey, how's it going? I'm good, thanks. Is now still a good time to talk? I just sent the invitation to your email. If it doesn't show up in 5 seconds, maybe check your spam folder. All right, now we are in the Google Meet. Yeah, man, nice to meet you too. So let me just start by saying the services that I have on my website are more so an anchor or more so just like a reference point. So this is not set in stone. Pretty much the only reason I have these services on my website is honestly personal preference. For me, I think it's incredibly frustrating when I go to somebody's website. I just kind of want to know a ballpark and they don't have any information like call us now to like get a free quote or like call us to schedule a meeting to figure out what works best for you. And it's like, I just want to know like how much roughly is it going to cost? Like I just want to know a rough estimate. So that's kind of the philosophy behind me having my services on my website. So you're looking at my essentials right now, $600 a month, manage your financial statements, accounts payable and accounts receivable. Those are more or less just kind of buzzwords. If I do accounts payable and accounts receivable management, but it's not going to be just $600 a month. It could be more. It could honestly be less. That's just kind of a reference point for people who, because I have learned over the past couple of years that people want more out of their bookkeeper. Like they want me to replace their office manager. So I am offering AP and AR almost out of necessity, just because some of my clients are like, hey, this is a make or break point. Like I need my bookkeeper to be able to pay my bills and create my invoices. Are they a daily client? For accounts payable and accounts receivable, it really varies. It varies a lot. I would say they're more weekly. Accounts receivable and accounts payable, they are very different in the way they're handled. My accounts payable are definitely weekly. Sorry, go ahead. For accounts payable, there's usually 2 different ways I do it. The first way, kind of what you just described, my client will just send me bills like throughout the week, and then I will just add them to QuickBooks. And then once a week, I'll run the aging report and see what's due. Or the other way, the easier way, is that they will have like a Google Drive or something, and they will just put all of the bills that need to be paid that week in that drive. And then I will go into that drive on Wednesday, download the 20 bills, add them all into QuickBooks, and then pay all of them like all on the same day. And I charge anywhere from $200 to $500 to do it. So for example, I have somebody who I charge $500 a month to do their AP. I also do their bookkeeping, but to do their AP, and it's about 20 bills per week. It takes me about an hour. So $500, about an hour a week. It comes out to be a little bit more than $100 an hour, which isn't great, but I probably would not have got this client if I didn't offer to do their accounts payable. And honestly, one of the biggest problems with QuickBooks is whenever they have their office manager entering invoices and bills into QuickBooks and marking them as paid, it's always a nightmare. So I kind of started this service by saying like, hey, I would rather nobody else be in QuickBooks. Like, can you please just let me enter these invoices for you? Because it's just all messed up. Undeposited funds and just like receive payments all over the place. So please, like I would just rather do it myself. When it comes to vacation, I'm a little bit different. Like you said, like I said, I don't want to take vacation. So me personally, I'm not a huge fan of traveling, and I have a bunch of young kids. So that just makes it even more difficult. But like if I had older kids or if I didn't have any kids, I could literally go anywhere. Like I could take vacation at any point. What I would probably do is I would not take vacation in the first week of any month. So like last week, I would probably not take vacation just because for bookkeeping, different from like taxes is like kind of on an annual basis, maybe a quarterly basis, but bookkeeping is really on a monthly basis. So the first week of every month, I'm slammed. Like I'm closing out the previous month. So I'm getting bank statements, credit card statements, loan statements. I'm reconciling accounts and I'm sending financial reports. So my first week of every month is a lot busier. So if I was going to take vacation, I would probably take vacation at the end of the month, and I would just bring my laptop and just probably check emails. Like you could certainly take vacation and just keep on top of emails and just make sure you don't do it in the first week of the month. Yeah, I guess taking vacation with, this cash management service would probably be difficult. So I have 5 clients who I manage their accounts payable and their accounts receivable 5 clients right now who I do it for. So I would probably have to spend an hour a week per client, like on vacation, and maybe just keep up with it. Or the other thing with accounts payable is I could probably let them know. Like obviously you can't take vacation like every month, but I mean, people, we're human. Like if I let my clients know, like, hey, I'm taking a vacation this week, so let me know what bills need to be paid this week and next week, and I'll pay them all this week, and then I'm going to take off next week, and then I'll be right back the week after that. I haven't done that, but I'm sure my clients would be understanding of that. Yeah, that's a good question. When do they, kind of what's the timeline like for receiving the bill and approving it for payment, entering into QuickBooks? Usually my client will receive the bill from their contractor. And so it works best if you have 2 folders. You've got one folder with invoices awaiting to be approved, and then another folder with invoices approved for payment. So my clients will put all of the invoices into the first folder. But I don't look at that first folder. I don't care about that folder. That's irrelevant to me. Invoices awaiting approval is irrelevant to me. Every Wednesday, I will check the invoices approved for payment folder. I'll email them every Wednesday morning. I'll say, hey, please let me know when the invoices are approved for payment. They'll respond to that email after they've done it. They'll say, hey, all the invoices are good to go. I'll log into the second folder, or I'll open the second folder, invoices approved for payment. I'll look at all 20 of the invoices. I'll add them to QuickBooks, and then I'll log into their online banking system, and I'll pay the 20 bills, and then I'll mark them as paid. And then in the QuickBooks bank feed, once those payments clear the bank account, then I'll match the cleared transaction to the bill payment. Yes, I always prefer, I don't know what it's called, like 2-factor verification, authentication. I always prefer that. Just, we're all human. We all make mistakes. I'm not going to say I'm going to commit fraud, but, it's always good to have checks and balances, internal controls. For every other client, I'm just going through the bank feed for yes. Yeah. So yes. Yep. Yeah. For the 5 who I'm doing accounts payable and accounts receivable, I'm probably in their books probably 2 to 3 days per week. It's probably a little bit more than weekly, but a little bit less than daily, probably 2 to 3 days per week. Yes. It's volume based. Yeah. The clients who need the cash management or APAR management are my bigger clients, and they just have more transactions. So yeah, whenever clients use checks, it's pretty difficult. Like check bookkeeping is probably some of the hardest because like you see, I just see check 1, 2, 3 and I don't know who you paid. Some banks, the bigger banks, I think Wells Fargo is doing this, and some of the other banks are doing this. They will actually attach the image of the check inside the QuickBooks bank feed. I don't know how it's happening, but the bigger banks are doing it. I'm hoping the smaller banks follow suit. And so like actually in the QuickBooks bank feed, I can see a picture of the check. If I can't, you have 2 options. I encourage my clients to give me view-only access to their bank account. That means I have my own username and password and I can log into their accounts. I can't actually transfer money, but I can see check images and I can pull bank statements. If I don't have that access, then yes, I will just export the list of the check transactions, and I'll send to my clients just like, hey, please let me know who did you pay, and usually just who did you pay. Like I can usually tell what they bought based on who they paid. I could charge more. I should charge more for check transactions, but I don't. It's just, it hasn't, the way I've kind of approached the past 4 years of my bookkeeping business is like, I'm just kind of I'm just kind of figuring this out. Like there's not a blueprint. There's not a playbook for this. I'm just kind of figuring things out. If things are so painful for me that like I notice it and I dread doing it, then I'll usually increase the price or try to drop the client on a case-by-case basis. And that has happened. Like I have had some specific clients who just the workload is just noticeably more than I thought it would be when we onboarded. It's not an exact science. You're just gonna know. Like you were a CPA, you did taxes, you just kind of know which clients are a headache and which clients aren't. And I just increase the prices accordingly. For payroll, I don't track payroll liabilities in QuickBooks. The only payroll journal entries that I will do is I will split employer and employee taxes to match that up with wages instead of payroll taxes. Some of my clients will give me, if my clients are using ADP, sometimes they'll give me access to their ADP account so that I can pull the reports after the fact, like you said, and I can see who they paid for payroll taxes and payroll wages. But in the past 4 years, I work closely with a lot of the CPAs who file taxes for my clients, and they have not ever asked me any questions about payroll on the balance sheet. And also keep in mind, like the majority of the clients who I work with have less than 10 employees. So they're fairly small clients. The majority of my clients don't have any employees, but the ones who do are almost all less than 10 employees. Yeah, I would probably say half of my clients don't have payroll at all. And then probably like a quarter of them have less than 3 employees, and the other quarter has less than 10 employees. Yeah, my clients pay on average $450 per month. So they're pretty small businesses. I don't run AR aging reports or AP aging reports unless they specifically ask me to. So I will usually say, do you need help managing accounts payable and accounts receivable? And if they don't want my help managing it, then I stay out of it. Yeah. I mean, we have some more time left. Do you have any questions about marketing or sales or just kind of the customer service aspect of it? Word of mouth from CPAs for marketing, I would say no. I don't get a lot of clients from CPAs. Almost all of my clients come from social media marketing. I only partner with one CPA. He is an owner operator. He just does taxes and just does payroll. He does not do bookkeeping. And I refer all of my clients to him, and I assume he refers all of his bookkeeping clients, all of his tax clients to me. But I don't really get a ton of clients from him. I don't get clients from any other CPA really. Maybe like once a quarter, but almost all of my clients come from social media marketing and word of mouth referrals from my current clients. And surprisingly, my Facebook friends refer me a lot to their, like even people who I'm friends with on Facebook who are not my clients, they refer me to other people a lot. And I want it that way. I have reached out to a couple CFOs to try to set up a referral program. What I found is that everybody who comes to me from a CFO referral, that CFO is usually referring them to like 2 or 3 bookkeepers. And so these people are interviewing me and 2 other bookkeepers. And as long as I sound professional in the sales call, like if we're all 3 going to do their bookkeeping and we all 3 sound professional enough and we pass the test, then they're probably going to take whoever's the cheapest. And I don't want that. I want all of my clients ideally to come from my social media because they have seen my posts for the past 2 months and they say, you know what, Zach, I see what you're doing. I see you're passionate about bookkeeping. I see that you're an expert and it seems like you're a good guy. And I align with your values. I want to hire you. Like no matter what it's going to cost, you're going to be my bookkeeper. And those have been hands down the best clients. The worst clients are the people that come to you from a referral and they don't really know you. They don't really care about you. They're just kind of signing up with you because you were the cheapest option. I don't want to be the cheapest option. I want to be the best option. I don't get any bookkeeping clients from YouTube. Everything comes from Facebook. I don't teach any, it's completely separate. Like I don't talk about teaching people how to do bookkeeping at all on Facebook. Like my YouTube personality and my Facebook personality are totally different. Facebook is all about helping business owners manage their finances and like QuickBooks and bookkeeping. And then YouTube is all about teaching other people how to start a bookkeeping business. I don't teach anybody how to start a bookkeeping business on Facebook. The only thing I do on YouTube is I don't know if you've noticed this, but I will create these real estate investor QuickBooks tutorials. And I do that for 2 reasons: for aspiring bookkeepers to learn how to do bookkeeping for real estate investors, but also I've gotten several calls from people. They're like, hey, I'm watching your QuickBooks tutorial right now. I can't figure it out. I just want to hire you to do it for me. So the QuickBooks tutorials are great. Like if you're looking at marketing and you're looking at creating tutorials on YouTube, if you're going to make any videos, I would recommend make the bookkeeping tutorials. Like try to teach people how to do their own bookkeeping, and then they try it, they get frustrated, they give up, and they hire you. Yeah, everything I do I definitely recommend follow me on Facebook. I mix it up. A lot of my videos are QuickBooks tips, bookkeeping tips, general business tips, and those videos are designed to teach other business owners how to better manage their business and their finances. And the whole idea behind this, and this is just my strategy, but I create these posts so that I can build trust and build relationships with total strangers on the internet. And, they see my posts. Like I said, like somebody who sees me on social media, they call me and they're like, hey, I've been seeing your posts for a couple months and I want to hire you. You're my guy. Like I align with your values. And that's kind of the whole idea. Like I want to nurture these relationships, build real, genuine relationships with total strangers on the internet so that they trust me, so that they end up hiring me, or they refer me to somebody else because they trust me and they know me. I would pick a niche. And what I mean by that, I don't know if you stop me if you've heard me say this before, not necessarily in the industry who you work with, but I have found great success. And I made mistakes early on. I have found great success with sticking to a niche in the software that I use and the services that I provide. In the very beginning, I was willing to work with QuickBooks Desktop, QuickBooks Online. I was willing to help out with payroll and bookkeeping. And I was thinking about getting into taxes and CFO services. And I did that because I thought that if I offered more, I could make more money. But now I only work with QuickBooks Online. So I lose a couple clients who are working with QuickBooks Desktop, and I only offer bookkeeping. I actually just lost a client last month because they want somebody to do their taxes and their bookkeeping. But I only do bookkeeping, and I thought, like, in order for me to make more money, I have to offer tax services. But I don't think that's true. I have 70 clients. I just do their bookkeeping right now. And the key is I have become a bookkeeping expert and a QuickBooks expert, and that means I'm able to do so much more work now. So I charge the same amount of money, but I'm making so much more per hour because I'm so much faster at bookkeeping, because like I'm a better bookkeeper than my tax preparer, than my payroll provider, than the CFO, because I do bookkeeping for 40 hours every week. So just naturally, by doing it more, I'm more of an expert. I'm faster, which means I can handle. People ask me all the time, how do you handle 70 clients? I'm like, all I do is bookkeeping. I only work with QuickBooks Online. So like I truly am a bookkeeping and a QuickBooks Online expert. So don't do taxes if you want to do taxes, but don't ever do taxes just because you want to make more money. Like I don't think that's the key to making more money. I think actually it's the opposite. Like become an expert at one thing and get really good at that, and that'll help you make more money. Honestly, I probably spend 10 minutes per client per week. Maybe between 5 and 20 minutes per client per week. And the majority of my time is spent logging into their QuickBooks and refreshing their bank feed. And then, I mean, most of these people only have 20 to 50 transactions per week, and they're really routine. Like they go to Home Depot, they go to the gas station, they buy stuff from Amazon, they have their monthly subscriptions. Like it's very routine. So I don't use any rules. I do not have rules, because I have just seen too many bad things happen, and it honestly doesn't take too long to manually record these transactions. The problem with rules is that QuickBooks uses artificial intelligence to automatically record transactions, and it's great when it's good, but it's horrible if it's bad because mistakes are happening automatically without you knowing about it. So I don't use rules. I pretty much just look at the bank feed and look at the bank detail, and that'll tell you who they paid. And, whoever, like it's either insurance or utilities or supplies, or, like you get an idea, office supplies and software, like you get an idea of whoever they're paying, and you just categorize it the same way every week. Yeah. I've seen there's the option to turn off auto ad. Yep. Yeah. I've thought about using the rules. I think turning off auto ad, I've thought about using the rules like that. Yeah, man. I appreciate that. Thanks so much for taking my call, and I wish you all the best. Talk to you later.